Chinese movies are leading the global box office numbers due to a surge during this Spring Festival holiday. Box office revenue for the 2024 Spring Festival holiday hit $1.13 billion, almost a 19% increase over the same period from last year. Now, these latest numbers make China the world's largest movie market in 2024. So far, domestic comedy movies have accounted for about 97% of the total earnings. China's total cinema revenue is about $13.2 billion, and by 2027, that would account for 27% of the global total, taking it above the 23% held by the U.S. movie market. Now, for more on Chinese cinema during the Spring Festival, Zheng Song-Wu spoke with moviegoers in Sichuan province.
6 films were shown during the week-long Spring Festival holiday from February 10th to 17th, and over 100 million tickets have been sold as of the 6th day of the festival. The box office collection in each of the first 3 days surpassed 1 billion yuan, which is over $130 million US. The 3 films with top box office revenue were YOLO, Pegasus 2, and Boonie Bears Time Twist. Viewers spoke highly of these films.
I wanted to watch some comedy films with my family during this festival of reunions, but the films went far beyond my expectations. For example, the story in YOLO was so inspiring, so I believe it was a good thing to watch it with my child.
I had heard about the film YOLO on my WeChat Moments, so I wanted to feel the positive energy the film sends out. I hope it can help me get a good start to the year.
Most of the young generation have traveled from Chengdu to their hometowns during the Spring Festival, leaving the theaters in central Chengdu not too busy. Yet the films have drawn viewers of all ages.
Young people form the majority of viewers, but the films in this holiday are varied, so they attract viewers of most age groups. Most watch the films with their families. YOLO and Pegasus 2 are the most popular ones because they are comedies.
We visited another theater in Chengdu. It has a vintage look. The theater boasts of old-style film projectors made in Germany and France, as also old posters. The manager told us that the latest favorites contributed a lot to the revenue.
The films of this festive season focus on diverse and relevant topics that resonate with the viewers, such as family values and inspirational stories. So they attract people from all walks of life. There will be another busy period when the younger generation returns to Chengdu after the holiday.
Viewers' expectations from films released during the Spring Festival holidays are rising, and the Chinese film industry is developing rapidly, so box office revenue keeps going up as the Spring Festival holiday continues. Zheng Song, CGTN, Chengdu, Sichuan Province.
Wow, eye-popping numbers. Joining us now to discuss this boom in Chinese cinema is Teng Jimeng, a media consultant and professor of Chinese film at Capital Normal University. Teng, welcome to our program. Thanks very much. I certainly appreciate it. I want to kind of get right to it, man. Spring Festival, half a dozen movies, just, I mean, blowing through all kinds of numbers. That's just amazing news. Was it a big surprise, do you think?
Well, this indeed is fabulous news for both movie makers and studios and production houses all across the country, private or public. I've been awestruck by the progressively big box office revenue, which brings me down to my knees. Several factors, I think, contributed to this very success story. I think first thing first is the consumers. Yeah. When tickets worth more than $1 billion was sold, you have to kowtow to consumers and viewers at large in this case. And so it is the consumers that actually been engaged in this binge watching following a COVID hit 2022. And so I would say consumers, tentpole films by big directors, and lastly, just long spring festivals contributed to success.
Yeah, you know, I really loved a couple of the facts that came out in that previous story. One, families getting together. Obviously, Spring Festival is a wonderful time for families to get together, enjoy food, and just do activities together. And secondly, an overwhelming percentage of these things were comedies. People just want to feel good. They want to laugh.
Well, yes, absolutely. And comedy as a major theme genre film are I mean, extremely popular among film goers in this very country, especially if film goers are actually family oriented. Usually it is a family of four, a family of six, and basically it's the family oriented genre film. And others actually, I would say, it's the kind of a hope film. And what I mean is that Spring Festival is basically represents the start and associated with hope and renewal and fresh start. And so comedy films since last year, I mean, since the beginning of the 20th century, have been popular genre films. And lastly, I would say lighthearted, good storytelling, feel-good storytelling are also very popular.
You know, and also, what does it say that China is poised to leapfrog the United States and be the most popular place to watch movies, at least in terms of the money spent on movies?
Well, I think there are also, once again, several factors. First thing first, I think this economic rebound that created this even larger middle class with disposable income and watch movies. And so in this sense, I would say that it's the viewers, the consumers. And secondly, I would say technology advancement. And China now has the largest number of IMAX movie theaters, and most films are shot on IMAX. And so in this sense, I'd say these also contribute to this very single market, single largest market in the world, and perhaps superseding the U.S.
Right. You know, I'm curious, how are Western movies being received in China, or are they even part of the conversation?
Well, once again, to say it's part of the it's not part of the conversation, and it's not part of the conversation could be also an understatement, because when you check out the latest one, you don't see them. They are sadly kind of a non-existent. I think once again it's because of several of the factors. Chinese movie audiences are increasingly kind of experiencing a aesthetic fatigue of Hollywood films. These big blockbuster Transformer-like movies are no longer new. China, in fact, are producing its own kind of IMAX and VFX films, like, for example, Transformers before. If you watch a film by Wu Shan, for example, The Creating of a God, it's so big and it's so as good.
Tell me about YOLO. Why is that so popular?
Once again, YOLO is all about this heartwarming and comic film featuring optimism, self-discovery, and self-made woman and self-made man. YOLO features this young woman, I mean, who has problem with her weight, but rises up by training herself to be a boxer. And so in a sense it's about a loser becoming a self-made successful person. And so that's why actually it was so popular, because right now, as you can see, when the economy are rebounding, you need self-made heroes. You need those kind of a happy-go-lucky, optimistic person who don't fall flat.
You know, we don't have a lot of time left, maybe 45 seconds or so, but we have a lot of time left in 2024. What's the movie release and revenue outlook like for the rest of this year?
Well, I think the Chinese movie production capacity will continue to improve, and with the supply of movies will grow steadily, and more movies will be shot on IMAX and screened on IMAX screens. And lastly, I think we will have more art house films, not just big blockbuster value films. So it'll be big.
Okay, great stuff. Teng Jimeng, a media consultant and professor, Chinese film at Capital Normal City. Thanks very much. We certainly appreciate it.
Pleasant talking to you.